You may not realize it, but you are approaching an abyss, chosen one, and no one but God can save you if you continue on this path. You may think you're in control, that things will work out, but what you don't see is that each step you take is leading you deeper into the fall. The trap was set to bring you down at the most unexpected moment, and if you don't turn back now, there will be no time to go back. This path is not what you think. It was made to destroy you, to steal what you value most. I know something inside of you feels that something isn't right, that restlessness, that feeling that makes you question, but you try to ignore it. And it's in that moment of doubt that the danger approaches. God is trying to show you what's hiding, but you need to open your eyes before it's too late. You're about to lose everything you've built up until now, and the worst part is that you don't even realize you're nearing that end. What will you do? Will you continue on the path already laid out for you, or will you act now before the abyss swallows you? Chosen one, the truth you don't want to hear is the most painful. You're approaching an abyss, and you don't even realize it. Each step you take on this path, believing you're in control, is an illusion. You feel safe as if you're in control, but with every decision, you're moving further away from the truth. God has already warned you, but are you truly listening? Or are you just moving forward without seeing what's hiding ahead? What you call confidence is, in reality, blindness. Confidence isn't knowing that things will work out. It's having the discernment to recognize the signs God is giving you. If you continue down this path, you'll realize too late. What seemed like an opportunity, a solution, may turn out to be a disguised prison. You're opening doors you shouldn't, and each time you do, you're moving further away from your purpose. The question is, how far are you willing to go before realizing the fatal mistake? The trap was set to be invisible, so you wouldn't see the danger until you were completely inside it. The enemy knows how to deceive, how to disguise the truth, which is why you can't see the consequences ahead. Everything you're experiencing now is preparing you for a fall. It may seem small, insignificant, but one wrong choice can change everything. And the worst part is that you're so immersed in this path that you can no longer see how close you are to losing it all. I know that inside, something in you is asking, am I really doing what's right? But the fear of change, the fear of turning back, is holding you back. This is the decisive moment. Chosen one. You have the chance to change now, to turn things around before the fall happens. The decision you make from here on out will define your fate. God has shown you the truth, but it's up to you to make the choice. Will you turn back, or will you keep going, knowing what awaits you? You are at a crucial point where time is starting to run out. The fall is already being prepared and won't wait for you to decide. The choice is yours, but you must act while you still can. The next step may be fatal, and you need to understand that there's something more at play here than you imagine. Will you continue on the path that leads to the end, or will you make a choice that changes your life forever? The answer is in your hands, but are you ready to accept it? Chosen one, you are being deceived by appearances. What you see as a bright opportunity, something that seems like the right path, is actually poison disguised. You think you're taking control, but the truth is you're being led to a destiny you didn't choose. The doors are opening, and you believe you're stepping into something greater, but what's hidden on the other side will consume everything you've built. Deception is a sharp knife, and you don't even realize you're being cut little by little. This path you think is a blessing is a carefully crafted illusion. You see the light, but you don't see the shadow that's spreading behind it. The temptation is strong, and the promise of success or fulfillment is right in front of you. But don't be fooled, chosen one. The true face of this path will only be revealed when it's too late. What seems like your salvation could be your end. This opportunity won't set you free. It will trap you in a way you can't imagine. You may even feel a false sense of security, believing you made the right choice. But know this, what's guiding you is not your strength or discernment. It's an external, invisible force, manipulating your choices and making you believe in something that doesn't exist. You're walking blindly, unaware that the truth is right before you, but you refuse to look. The danger is here, camouflaged in such a subtle way that you don't see it, but it has surrounded you on all sides. It's not too late to change, but the time to act is now. This is the point where you must stop and reflect, where you need to open your eyes to the truth that's trying to warn you. The path ahead won't take you where you think. God is calling you, but you're so absorbed by what seems to be the right thing that you can't see the signs. You're about to make a choice that will seal your fate. Will you keep ignoring the signs and walk blindly, or will you open your eyes before it's too late? The choice is before you, chosen one, but what you don't realize is that the price of moving forward is higher than you imagine. If you keep believing the illusion, you'll lose more than you can bear. But the good news is that you still have the chance to make the right choice. Will you keep walking this path, or will you stop, breathe, and see the truth God has shown you? The next decision you make will change everything. What will you do now? Chosen one, you think you're in control, but the truth is that your confidence is being manipulated. Confidence should not be blind, it should be discerned. God has called you to perceive the difference between what is real and what is an illusion. The path ahead is being painted with light, but the shadows are there waiting to swallow you. Believe me, it's not what you see that will bring you down, it's what you don't see, and that's what should worry you now. What you call confidence is actually a mask, a facade that hides the truth. You believe you've made the right choice, that you're walking towards success, but what's in front of you is not success. It's destruction disguised. The shadows surrounding you are not visible at first glance, but they're there, slowly spreading. The further you walk in this direction, the more these shadows will consume you, until you realize too late that you've been led by something much greater than yourself. What you don't realize, chosen one, is that each step you take is feeding the illusion even more. The enemy knows how to play with your mind, how to make you believe everything is fine, even when it's not. The lights shining in front of you are just a distraction, a way to make you believe you're on the right path, while in reality, you're being led to the edge of the cliff. And the worst part, you're going willingly, because your confidence has been used against you without you knowing. This is the moment to awaken, to open your eyes and see what's happening. The confidence you placed in this path is no longer yours. It's been stolen, and you need to regain your vision. What you see as light might just be the flame of a candle about to go out. Don't let the illusion of security blind you, because the fall comes fast when you're distracted. Now is the time to stop and reflect. Are you truly following your purpose, or are you being led to your own destruction? The path is before you, and the shadows are getting thicker. What will you do? Will you keep following this false path of light, or will you turn away before the darkness engulfs you? This is the real choice you face. Don't let the shadows make you lose sight of what truly matters. The time to act is now, and the decision is in your hands. What you choose now can save you or take you to a point of no return. Chosen one, you hear those voices, don't you? They are always there, whispering, trying to convince you that the path you've chosen is the right one. They don't shout, they don't make noise. They speak softly, almost as if they're guiding you with good intentions, but they are deceptive. The enemy knows exactly what to say to feed your doubt and divert you from your purpose. These words are like poison disguised as advice. You think you're making your own decisions, but these voices are shaping every step you take. They know what to touch in your soul, to make you doubt yourself, to make you follow without question. God is calling you to listen to another voice, a clear and strong voice, but you're so immersed in these whispers that you can hardly hear it. What seems like your own thoughts is often just manipulation from forces you cannot see. These voices don't come from outside, chosen one. They come from within, infiltrating your mind. They tell you that you deserve what you're seeking, that what you're living is normal, that the choices you make have no consequences. But the lies they tell you pull you further away from God and your purpose. You may believe that these voices understand you, but what they truly do is pull you away from everything that is true and eternal. Now you need to make a choice. Will you continue listening to these voices that pull you toward error, or will you silence them and listen to the only voice that can save you? Time is passing, and the more you listen to these deceptive words, the harder it becomes to find your way back. God has shown you what to do, but you must be strong enough to silence the noise and follow his guidance. The true voice is calling you to the truth. These voices may be speaking in your mind right now, trying to convince you to ignore this warning, but you know deep down what's right. The decision is yours. Will you continue listening to the enemy, or will you finally choose to listen to God and follow the true path? The answer is in your hands. Will you follow this lie, or will you free yourself from this prison? What comes next depends on what you choose to do now. Chosen one, you think you're in control, don't you? But the truth is, this sense of freedom is just an illusion the enemy has prepared to deceive you. You feel free to choose, but you barely know that every wrong choice you make is imprisoning you more, pulling you further from your true essence. The freedom you think you have is the most subtle of traps. It gives you a sense of power, but at the same time, it makes you vulnerable to the lies and deceptions that pull you away from God. What you believe to be freedom is actually leading you to a destiny you never desired. You think you're taking control of your life, but you're actually being guided by forces you can't see. Every decision that seems like it's yours is actually the reflection of a silent manipulation. What seems like your choice is actually a step toward an invisible prison. You're being led to a place of pain and regret, but you can't see what's happening. True freedom comes from discernment, from knowing when to stop and listen to God's voice. But if you continue believing in this false freedom, you will lose your way. You're so absorbed in moving forward that you don't realize that the true prison is in your choices. What you think is an opportunity for growth is actually leading you to an abyss. This path doesn't free you. It imprisons you more with each step, and without realizing it, you're growing further away from who you truly are. I know it's hard to face the truth, chosen one, but you need to understand that true freedom is not in what the world offers you, but in obeying God's plan for your life. You are moving further away from your destiny, believing you're in control, when in reality you are heading toward an irreversible mistake. What will you do now? Will you keep believing in this illusion, or will you return to the path that truly frees you? The illusion of freedom may be tempting, but chosen one, if you don't stop now and reflect, it will be too late. The control you think you have is being slowly taken from you, and if you continue like this, there will be no turning back. The real choice you need to make is now, before the prison closes in on you. What will you decide? Will you continue on this deceptive journey, or will you step back and choose true freedom? Chosen one, you are walking a path that seems safe, but the truth is, it's the small steps you've been taking that will lead to your fall. With each decision, no matter how small it seems, you are closer to the abyss. You think it doesn't matter, that these little choices don't carry weight. But each step is a piece of your life being diverted further from your purpose. And in the end, when you realize, you'll be so far away that you won't know how to get back. You believe you still have control, but the fall is built gradually. Every small mistake you ignore, every sign you overlook, adds up until you find yourself in a place where you can no longer return. The enemy doesn't need to knock you down all at once. He knows that with small deviations, you'll drift further and further from what was destined for you. It's not one big failure, but a series of small wrong choices that will lead you to a dark destiny. I know you think you have time, that these mistakes aren't big enough to hurt you, but it's precisely this thought that puts you in danger. The small steps may not be seen, but they are the most treacherous. They slowly pull you away from what truly matters. And you'll keep walking, believing nothing serious will happen until you realize you're at the bottom of the abyss with no strength to rise. This fall won't be sudden. It will be gradual and painful. Now, you need to understand that it's urgent to stop. God has given you a chance to open your eyes and reconsider what's happening. These small steps you've been taking are leading you to a place where the real loss occurs. But there is still time to change. You can stop now, reflect, and start walking the right path. With each moment you continue at this pace, the distance between you and your true journey will increase. What will you do now? Chosen one, the fall begins before you realize it. It is silent but relentless. If you don't stop now, the steps you're taking will lead you farther than you imagine. The decision to act now will determine whether you can turn back or if it will be too late. The path of perdition may be long and discreet, but you can still choose to change direction before it's impossible. What will you decide? Chosen one, God is calling you now, urgently, to stop before it's too late. He has warned you, sent signs, but you still haven't stopped to listen. It's not a coincidence that you're hearing this message right now. Heaven is moving, and the truth is being revealed, but only you can choose to listen and act. Every second you ignore this call, you are moving further from the path prepared for you. Don't let this opportunity slip away. You knew, deep in your being, that something wasn't right, that something wasn't aligned. God never lets his children walk without a warning. He called you because he loves you and wants to protect you from the impending fall. This warning is not a punishment, but a chance for salvation, an opportunity to correct your course before the damage is irreversible. But the decision to act is yours, and the window of time is closing fast. The path before you is no longer the only one that exists. God offers you an exit, an alternative that will lead you to true peace and prosperity. But to accept it, you need to trust. Take a step of faith and turn away from what destroys you. Fear may be paralyzing you, doubt may be blinding you, but if you don't stop now and listen, there will be no turning back. What's at stake is far greater than you imagine, and time is running out. Chosen one, you are being challenged to take action. Don't delay any longer. Don't wait for the perfect moment, because it may never come. God is calling you to change your direction now, to correct the steps you took in error and return to his purpose. The opportunity is in your hands, but you need to act before the path is closed. The doubt you feel is just resistance to change. Will you keep ignoring it, or will you finally listen? The time to act is now, chosen one. God is calling you, but you must choose to listen and take the next step. Don't wait until everything falls apart, until the fall is inevitable. The call is clear, but your response will determine the fate you will have. What will you do now? Will you continue on this path that leads to destruction, or will you answer God's call and change your life forever? Chosen one, what you are about to decide will not only affect your future, but it touches the very core of your soul. Perhaps you haven't realized it yet, but the choice you make now can determine your peace, your faith, and even the purpose for which you were called. The destiny that seems far away now is in fact closer than you think, and your actions today will shape you in an irreversible way. Every step, every decision weighs on the heart of who you are and what you will become. The gravity of this choice goes beyond what the eyes can see. When you decide to ignore what God is telling you, when you move forward without reflecting, you are not only putting your future at risk, you are risking your very essence, that which connects you to the divine and makes you unique. You are being called to a journey of transformation, but if you continue down this path, you will lose more than you can imagine. The weight of the decision is profound, and the choice is yours. You may be trying to convince yourself that everything can still be fixed, that the future is not so dark. But the truth is, if you don't stop now and reflect deeply, the impact will be eternal. Your choices today reverberate in your spirit, and the soul cannot be restored after a deep fall. God has given you free will, but with it comes responsibility. You cannot walk this path thinking there are no consequences. Chosen one, it's not too late to change, but you need to understand the weight of your decision. You can't play with what is at stake here. God is offering you a chance, a decisive moment to correct your course before the loss becomes irreversible. Every wrong step takes you further from who you were called to be. The choice is difficult, but there is still time to do what's right, to choose the true freedom and peace that only He can offer. Time is running out, and the decision you make will define not only your future, but the very direction of your soul. What you choose now will echo forever. Will you move forward without listening to the call, or will you stop and reflect on what's really at stake? This is your last chance to change, to save what is most precious. What will you do now, chosen one? Chosen one, the moment you have been waiting for has arrived, and the choice you make now will define your destiny forever. There is no turning back, no more time to wait. You are at the threshold of a decision that will change everything, and you know it. The truth is that no matter how much you try to delay, this moment comes for all of us. The path ahead of you is no longer an option. It's the chance to change everything. What you choose now will decide whether you will follow your purpose or be swallowed by error. God has placed you at this crossroads because He knows you have the strength within you to make the right choice. But now, it's up to you to act. He has shown you the signs, given you the vision, but He cannot make the choice for you. What is at stake here is your life, your soul, and most importantly, your true mission. Are you ready to awaken to the reality of what you need to do? Or will you continue ignoring what God has shown you? Every second you spend without making this decision is pulling you further from who you really are. The choice today will take you to a glorious destiny or lead you to the fall that you've already seen approaching. Don't be fooled. You already know what the right path is. You feel it in your soul. You just need to take that step of faith, the courage to change, to open your eyes to the truth that has already been revealed to you. Chosen one, doubt may be strong, but it is also the last resistance the enemy has against you. By overcoming this doubt, you will free your spirit and follow God's path, the one that has been prepared for you from the beginning. You know what you need to do. Now it's up to you. Will you continue being led by illusion, or will you awaken to the truth that will lead you to victory? Time is running out, and the choice you make now will be decisive. The door you open could be the door to salvation or the path to perdition. You feel the weight of the decision, and that's why God brought you here. What you choose now will define your journey. What will you do, chosen one? Will you take that step of faith, or will you hesitate once again? What comes next depends solely on you. Chosen one, the time to make the right choice is now, before it's too late. You've already seen what happens when you walk in illusion. Every wrong step has pulled you further from the truth. But now, you have a chance, a final moment to turn back and change the direction of your life. The door that has closed behind you can be opened again, but the key is in your hands. If you don't act now, you will never be able to go back, and the path of destruction will be inevitable. You have the ability to reverse this journey, to return to the point where God is calling you and correct everything that has been diverted. But time is running out. What you've done so far cannot be erased, but you have the power to decide how this story will end. Doubt, fear, and lies may have guided your steps up to this point, but the truth is before you now, waiting to be embraced. Will you continue walking toward perdition, or will you choose salvation by stepping back and opening your heart to the truth? The enemy has tried to convince you that there's no way out, that it's too late. But that's not true. The only one who can decide your destiny is you. You can still make a choice that will change everything, but you need to be brave. Don't let the lies keep you enslaved to error. The decision to return to God's path is yours, and by making it, you will have the chance to rebuild what seemed lost. Chosen one, you no longer have to walk blindly without direction. The truth is within your reach, ready to guide you to freedom and the purpose God has prepared for you. The only price you pay is your pride, the resistance to accepting the truth. The path back is ahead of you, but you need to act now before the door is closed forever. If you continue ignoring the call, you will be trapped in an endless cycle of regret. Now, chosen one, you are at a crucial choice. Will you turn back and return to the purpose God gave you, or will you continue on a path of no return? What you choose now will determine whether you live free or remain imprisoned. The decision is in your hands, and time is running out. What will you do? Chosen one, the time to act is now. You've come this far, and the decision you make today cannot be delayed. The choice before you is not just about the future, but about your soul, your purpose, and your eternal destiny. There is no more room for doubt, no more excuses. The truth has been revealed, and now it's up to you to follow the path of light or lose yourself in the shadows. God has done his part. Now it's your turn to take the step of faith. I know that doubt may still haunt you, but remember, fear does not come from God. He calls you to freedom, to a greater purpose, and he will give you the strength you need to make the right choice. Don't let the enemy keep manipulating your thoughts and choices. What you've decided up until now can be reversed, but time is running out. God is waiting for you, ready to restore you and guide you to the life he has prepared for you. Now, chosen one, it's time to act. Don't delay the decision that can transform your life today. If you feel deep within your soul that you need to change, that you need to turn back and return to God's plan, do it now. God is calling you to your true freedom, and only you can choose to listen to him and take the action that will lead you back to his purpose. Make this choice. The future is in your hands. If this video touched your heart and brought clarity to your journey, leave a comment below, share your thoughts, and share this message with someone who also needs to hear this. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe now and activate the notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. This is just the beginning of a transformative journey, and you are not alone. God is with you, and I am here to walk by your side.